So welcome everybody to another Risk of Rain 2 episode. This is a little bit after we tried to do a Purifier on being the game on Monsoon. We couldn't find it since my brother didn't want command artifact on. But so let's look at these back to the log. So the free lighting there, but scrap does nothing prioritize this. That's for the scrap. So scrap everywhere. And then prioritize. Then you guys would choose for scrap. Prioritize for printer. So if you have some good stuff, you guys can put very much. Or if you don't get this stuff. You have the players have more choice over their run when they're not in command mode, so like, so it's not just completely random, and you can sort of guide your way, or guide your run at least some way. It's sort of random. So apparently, the trick that we don't have right here, this is just, these are just green scrap. I normally play on command, so that's why I only have white scrap, because, command doesn't have scrappers, and there's a pretty important reason for that. As you can see, it looks like there's a new legendary item, other than just the scrap. That is the microbot. Which if you remember is, I think, exclusively for the captain. It's a starting item that he gets. And, and so I feel like they have a good reason to put it in legendary. And so, there's the two pearls here. I haven't gotten those since, I rarely have lunar items, and normally I don't even want to give up my lunar items. In the rare event that I even find these things, the pools, we got some scrap over here, and then we got our new item, Purify. None of our items are locked anymore. Since I had two beforehand, Purify and Brainstalks, since I never really played on Monsoon. Yeah. One of the reasons, so apparently, with scrappers, you can actually scrap your microbot, and you gain it next floor. And you gain it back next floor. So you could get free red scrap. But the problem with this is that, of course, when are you ever gonna be able to use red scrap? Like, it's not like there's no reforge way. The only way I can see of you ever being able to use it is with a 3D printer. So it might be worth it at the very end of the floor. When are you ever gonna find one of those? Those never show up. I've seen one or I've maybe seen 3 in probably not 100 hours of playing this game. So they're pretty rare. And you can't find them on command, which is why, it's probably one of the best reasons why they, why they turned off, command, or they turned off scrappers for command. They don't show up. Also because, you'd just be able to turn an item into scrap and then, or get what you want, but then that wouldn't really matter. But yeah, you could just get a free legendary item every floor. That's way too strong. And apparently, to get it on the logbook, you actually have to do a strategy where you have to I'm gonna go into player today. Where you actually have to use the artifact where you can fight yourself. And I didn't know this, but you can get items from that. So you have to fight yourself with 0 items, and and only having the microbots when you start with it, and you have a guaranteed chance to get that item. So so I guess we can try to do some of that stuff today. First of all, let me pull up my tablet. Then we're gonna probably gonna be playing Commando today. I'm gonna look up oh yeah, and this item and this the new lunar item can actually probably be pretty good. Or you know what? Let me not look at it. Let me try to remember. I might take a picture if I find one. Maybe we'll just try to unlock the rest of the artifacts on our own. Maybe we'll just see them in a run. So we're probably gonna be playing as Commando today. The new item, Purify, which I spent, me and my brother spent 4 tries, trying to unlock that. Never tried to do a run for it, and couldn't find it since but supposedly it could actually make probably artificial and actually good jet. Like actually pretty good. Since like even our thing is charged, this thing, like pretty much everything, like she's basically sort of a burst style character where you go in, you throw all your skills out, and then you evacuate with your thing. Like it really doesn't work because it's just some stuff. Like all it is really is damage. Like it seemed sort of okay to me, but apparently it's really hard to hit charged nano bomb, and it's easier to hit the other one, but it does less damage. But so let's see who we're gonna want to play here. I'm gonna play as probably Commando, just because I'm not sure if I've already said what the thing does. But yeah, you'll see. You'll see. Let's maybe do a rainstorm run. I think I'm getting better at this game. I still buy some on Monsoon, but that's because I started playing it like a day or so ago. I started playing it, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, trying to unlock the thing. It's only been like a week whenever I'm recording, or not really a week, is it? 2 days ago the update was released at like 11 or 12. So yeah, the 1.0 update. So I can probably handle rainstorm. Mode, I guess you probably really won't really feel how good it is on drizzle mode, since it might just be wasted since drizzle mode. Is there really anything else I need to explain to you other than it's drizzle mode? Like sometimes when I pause like this, especially on my videos about my mic on, which I do that to listen to other stuff, since I just like listening to other stuff sometimes. It's because I'm doing something like biting my finger. Someone you don't touch me. But I gotta go do something. I'm not sure if I'll ever really post the videos that I don't have my mic on, or ones. I feel like I should only post the stuff that I actually feel like needs to be posted. Like I didn't post the free runs or the free other attempts for beating the game on Rainstorm, because they were just like an hour wasted of time, because for nothing, since we just lost. this new item, it's actually very, very interesting. It can be used probably for a build all itself. That's completely different to the regular playstyles. And even the new playstyles, still use this method, of using procs. But this one, you're sort of giving that up. You're not really doing much proc stuff, so I should probably not take Striker Daggers. So basically for this run, you're just not going to want to use anything that has to do with proc chance. Anything that has chance for luck to be affected by it, which luck is a thing used normally for 50-70 clover. Determine, like, you know, if an item is affected by 50-70 clover, which rerolls an item's outcome if it's not favorable to the character. It doesn't work on stuff like you know, because I know it's always this kind of one and they have a 90% Commando too much, probably just because he's just so simple, you know, and that's, like, you know, good for a first character, you know, get the basics of just the game before, like, you know, you're playing as a guy swinging all around the place with a grappling hook. You know, it's good to have the starting character be, like, you know, the basic one that they, like, you know, hang on in, right? It's like, you know, if you throw the player into a game and just doing, it's like, say for example, I don't know, Wilmer as the first character, that would probably not be very good, because, like, you know, you might not get into the games. It's like, you know, some of the first, minutes, or hour or two that you play the game is probably the most impactful because you don't like the game or not. But you kind of decide if you want to play more of it or not. You know, maybe people play it more when you spin around the place with the grappling hook. Like, it might be okay, but like, and I kind of like think when they do it, yeah, probably wreck, actually, would be really bad because, you know, people might not understand how the mechanics work, like, you know, how to properly play them. It's not too hard, but you have to be always cautious. You know, things like Huntress are bad for first players because, for the first, like, time you have to play the game, because Huntress, like, even though it has auto-aiming, I feel like it's not really too good because, you know, and you probably don't want to really start you just want them to be able to sustain some damage, like, you know, like, if you're making somebody play this game for the first time and you turn on Artifact of Blast, well then, like, you know, they're just never gonna play the game because they got the bad impression. And the like Artifact of Blast against their will, especially somebody who's never played the game before. Yeah. Like, you know, you just need to make it so that the characters are as simple as possible. Like Commando, where, like, you know, you have a roll, you have a shoot, you have a phase blast or a shotgun or whatever, and you have a bunch of shoots and stuff. You know, it's not that hard to understand. Phase blast, Like I could run into, like I could slide into a wall for like half the duration of the slide, then come out and still be super fast. It still is. It's been a long time since I played another mode. Maybe that's why it's like easy. I play on it. Trying to do some unlocks. I wonder what sort of ideas we're gonna come up with for a boss item for Mother the ally or whatever. Because I think they have pretty much all of the regular bosses. They don't have a boss item. So yeah, or pretty much all of them. I might be forgetting one or two. Since they added Magmorm, Imp. Yeah, so they added Magmorm, Imp Overlord, they added Plague Moonstrider. I don't know what the boss item is. It's the boss, it's the yellow items. It has a chance to appear instead of green item. They actually also changed by a lot. Like before I was green item and now it's like 8. And normally you're gonna have half items boss items. Fun. Now you have to get the Sorry, sir, I don't care about you joining because you're just gonna die at it. It's not really this thing you're supposed to do with that guy. You're supposed to probably do a burst, or like, try to do a burst of damage, whenever he goes up. Probably like, not attacking, after you get him to like, pretty close to 20 or 30% HP. Then wait for him to go up and then attack him. Since then try to kill him, then you can't do that ground thing. Or you can just not care like one bit and back to it. The nice part about being invisible. You don't have to care about pretty much anything. I think they actually can use some problems. If she has to 100%, it doesn't matter. It will only have like 6%. I think, and we're gonna be taking a lot of these, and I might have already said it in this. I can't really remember. I have like a new thought appears in my head while I'm already talking about something. So then, like, I start talking about the other thing, and then I lose both of my thoughts. So we get 2. So here it is. Get Purity. Reduce your skill cooldowns by 2 seconds. You are unlucky. So it's basically the 57 leaf clover, but it does the opposite effect. So instead of re-rolling an effect for a favorable outcome, it will re-roll for an unfavorable outcome. Oh, wait a second. No, would 100% matter? Well, no, because it re-rolls it, and if it's 100% re-rolling, it's always gonna be that thing. There's no questions asked. It's always gonna be that. It's just gonna take some things, but yeah, I wanted to try to get Flamestalk's level of suppressive fire or just special. So we're gonna have to go to another shop. This is gonna be very consuming on my lunar coins. I didn't have many to begin with. I only had like 3. So yeah, I probably need to grind a little bit, or I can probably just wait till I can use mods again, since the mods and like, you know, that's gonna probably take like maybe a week. I'm not really sure on those mods though. I have a rapid fire shotgun. You do not stand a chance. Oh yeah, my shoot goes down. So now I can just slide around them. And I had a thought with. Is that in the week? Okay. I had a thought about prosperity. Could you have pretty much constant invincibility? It'd be like half a second. I think it's like half a second. Maybe they change it to a second for security. It's probably like half a second before the cooldown So I never really did bring clothes that much since I didn't have it unlocked myself. Now I'm sure here. I guess we can go for the bridge. Oh, you know what? I just realized we can go for the bridge. Here's that one. Because I was thinking about this lead in like it having a rapid fire suppressive fire like constantly, like, you know, that would be amazing. That would have so much speed. But then I remember so, you know, that wouldn't really work. But getting a bunch of blend classes, you could get 100%, and it doesn't matter if you really roll 100%, yeah, and then you also have Shadow Screen, which always make the target bleed. So you could have a gun with but if you can get it to 100%, so first you probably want to go for it looks like this might be probably comparable to the new thing. Maybe they didn't want the long comparable to they were trying to make, you know, different ways to play the game of Command, so you're not always doing the same thing, except for just doing active item stuff. So it's not just one superior method with they're able to use it, but not It's just purely amazing. So, you know, they're doing Yakuza effects obviously very bad. So maybe they wanted purity basically, so not weed. Also makes you think about who you're gonna play as. You're gonna try to do like, Commando probably a really good option. Because as you can see, constant fire shotgun, constant fire. And there's a lot more to some of the higher up buildings. Like, you know, for example, in imagine if you could constantly smash like you do with Carbide Afterburner. Shotgun can fire another shotgun blast in 1 second, also while firing the same gun. Yes. This made it work. You can fire the same gun. I think he is, but still, that's very impressive. Shooting one gun while loading the other gun. Probably the same as like you ever wonder why people sometimes call people in classes blind? It's sort of rude, but it's not nice at all. But I'm not really sure what, like, because they have glasses. You're just like not even that good of an insult. Other than the fact that it's supposed to be an insult. I just don't see how that's really that much of an insult. Other than it being an insult. Like, you know, just the fact that somebody's trying to insult you is insulting. Not that the insult is actually, because I don't really understand it. No. Still, it's rude. It's just not even a very valid insult. Not saying that you should insult somebody. Especially if it's something about like some problem in their life. Then they might be impressed and you might make them even better. Yeah, I think this might be one of my new favorite specific characters. Just for that one character. And I don't know if this could be better. Just imagine being able to constantly fire stuff. I really liked, like, you know, waiting. I guess maybe that's one of the reasons why I didn't like Artificer at all. Oh, there it is. Imagine whenever I can get a constant press of fire. I want 1 second to press He sent me out of the map. He sent me completely out of the map. I don't think I've ever seen him do that before. He just completely sent me out of the map. I don't know why it only happened this time, but I've never seen that before. Like, not just at the point he actually sent me out of the map. Yeah, I think that's a very good move. What about, mercenary? Just constantly bombing. Time to go back. You know what? I probably should have taken ceremonial dagger. Because ceremonial dagger probably since the funny thing about it, a lot of AoE comes from like, you know, stuff like ukulele, which is good. Like, you know, you do have Will of the Wisp, but it's only a short distance. So you know, ceremonial dagger is better. Dagger's like stupid level. It since like the daggers just stay around until I can fly. I can fly. I believe I can fly. There's also I'm not sure if you guys like giant range is probably one of the first things that I take as most people. Just because of like the 40% damage and things. Like, you know, it's not like focus or something you have to be close to somebody or anything like that. Just a damage difference. And some slight AoE. We're really starting to start to challenge I can't promise anything. This is definitely interesting, to say the least. Like as you can see, it's quite strong. So far, I just annihilated that guy. I was sort of disappointed with, I think, the frag grenade. It's not so good. Let's go friendly. Can I use it? Okay. Let's take a try. I can use it. Is anybody else having the bug with Captain where I can't use, like, I haven't tried all the active items out with Captain. I guess I probably should do that. But I specifically cannot use the frenzy thing, the one that I have right now. I just can't use it. I can use some other items, active items, like maybe the healing one or something. But I don't understand. I'm not sure if it got reported in the chat. Has anybody told me? It's really weird. It's one of my favorite active items so far because, like, you know, it's just fun. Like, you know, it's just super attack. You can't really go wrong with fun attacks. I guess I should probably be using, like, things, you know, to move quicker. Probably, like, you know, pay more attention and actually try to find them. We need to find some shops. I just call it a shop since that's what it is. Can we get a shop for like, you know, just regular items? Like, I know there's the multi-shop, but like a full-fledged shop, for some down both buttons. This is definitely very easy. Like, I'm playing on different mode right now, but you know, you can still tell that it's pretty strong. It is a lot easier when you play with friends. Even if they're not that much better than you or better than you, or especially if you just accidentally mess up. If you just happen to mess up, because I normally just like accidentally mess up and die, and just get hit by something. Infusions, just because I'm not really sure what to go for. Like, you know, what do you stack over than procs? Or KXP? Is there any of that for, like, you know, for the uncommon items? This there? I don't really think so. I don't think there's really that many, base data points. That's where a lot of the good procs are. We're not doing really stuff. At that point, like, not only how math works also, but it would have like a third or something chance to not go off from what it regularly has. So, like, no, you go away with me there. Like, it's definitely not like that since, well, so let's see here. If it goes off, so we have two of them, so if it goes off, we have two of them, right? So if it goes off once, then, or if it goes for the proc, so let's just use like ukulele as an example. If it procs once, it'll get re-rolled. So it has a so it has 1-4 chance to get procced. Then it has a 1 in 12 chance on top of that, another 1 in 4 chance, which means that I think it's a 1 in 8 chance or a 1 in 16 chance, for it to go off. Then we have the second one, which then multiplies that by 4, so then that's a 1 in 64 chance to go off. I think I did that right. Around probably somewhere there. So I can't really rely on it. Like, you know, I shoot a lot of shots, but 1 in 64, like, you know, the enemy'd already be way long dead by the time I shot them. Let's try to watch. Well, let me think here. So since it's the opposite of if 57 leaf clover, and that's my method with a thing on the wiki, which I could just look this up, but on the wiki I remember Spinal Tonic has a 20% chance to give you an affliction whenever it stops. And with 57 leaf clover, that goes to 4%. So in that situation, if it doesn't go off, so it has a 1 in 5 chance to go off. Then it has and then if it does go off, it has another 1 in 5 chance because of 57 leaf clover, which makes it re-roll. So then that would be a 1 in 25 chance or something. Which then 1 in 25 is 4. So wait a second. So let me try to do that math again. Ukulele 1 in 4. So the ukulele has a 1 in 4 chance to go off. If it does go off, it has another 1 in 4 chance to go off, since I will try to do it bad. So it has 2 more 1 in 4 chances to go off. So then that's 4 times 4 times 4. So then, yeah, it's 1 in 64 chance to go off. I did math right, I think. I can use my brain sometimes. How do I get up? How is it? I really like this slide, especially with just the how do I get up there? What do I really like the slide, especially when I can constantly. So I guess we can say that Please get out of my face. That to calculate quickly, more quickly, for the chance that it has to go off, it multiplies itself by the amount that, or it divides itself, which means that, that the denominator gets multiplied by itself times the number of so it's the denominator squared times the number that no, I'm gonna look it up and see if I was actually right. I'm just gonna look up luck, and so I think that's the stat that it does. So 57 leaf clover, which is for luck, it affects all random effects other than tougher times. For each 57 leaf clover, if a successful proc is not achieved on a roll, it will be rolled an additional 10. Repeated again until the equal number of clovers the player has. So per clover it rerolls. For example, if a player has one item that the chance to proc it is 20%, which is 1 in 5, and 157 leaf clover. If the player attacks and the item does not proc, the roll will be done once more, as the player has 1 clover. Yeah, so that one would be, I don't know. Successes are measured per effect, not in a whole. So if one item roll is successful, other items that were triggered by the same proc will continue to roll if unsuccessful. Which is one of the things in the game is a proc chain, where when something procs, it procs another thing. And yeah, that's why it's so good. Is it procs every single one. While the mechanic may be daunting, note that since items from chests are created on a world seed, Clover does not affect them. In the King build, with each Clover giving +1 luck, there is no other means of acquiring positive luck. This means that the luck and the number of Clovers are interchangeable. Negative luck is also supported, which can be attained via the lunar item Purity. Positive and negative luck will cancel each other out, and thus, as even number of Clovers and Purity will equate to 0 luck. In order to calculate proc probability with Clovers, the following equation can be used. Y equals 1 minus, parenthesis, 1 minus P, whatever that thing means, X plus 1. P, total item proc chance, X, the number of Clovers in the player's inventory, Y, new item proc chance with X amount of Clovers. So Y equals 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus the total item proc chance, which is 0 to 1. I don't understand. I think my thing's right. With the amount the item squared by in times so the item's proc chance squared by the amount of Clovers or Purity that you have, or I think it's so for Purity, it's the denominator of a fraction, and I'm using this in fractions instead of percents because I know fractions, and it probably makes more sense a little bit. So the denominator of the fraction squared, which I think the numerator with Purity would always be 1. The denominator would be squared times the amount of it would be squared times the amount of Purity you have, or and I think it would be the same equation except for the numerator would be it would be the numerator, I think. I'm not really sure. And then math time is over. I spent way too long. They just put them as numbers, and like when you first look at it, you're like, huh? What exactly are you saying? What does that number mean? And I don't quite understand. And then you look at it and you may sort of understand, or you don't understand at all. It's never sometimes hard. Sorry for that, I just needed to know stuff. I can probably check it with my leg. I'll ask him if I'm right. I could probably get back to him. Like, it probably won't really matter, but I can get some confidence. You know what, I can get rid of it. So, I think, so we can watch the critical hit, by the fact that a critical hit is correct, makes your view a little long, you might not be able to tell, but after going up, but you can see if you can see it, as soon as I reach 100%, it might be going up sometimes, so let's think here, so then 90, so that would be a 9 in 10 chance, and the denominator would be, so the denominator would square itself, 2 times, so then, 10 times 10 times 10, so then it's 9 in a thousand. But as you can see, clearly if it's not 100% sure, then it will not proc. It will proc like every 6 years, so yeah. But you still can use the strategy as far as it goes. We get one more, oh yeah, we had to get 90. The Scythe, and Critical Instincts have an initial 5%. It doesn't stack, but it's there. So this could actually be, the strategy. Since I was thinking that, so like, if you're trying to make a new strategy, well then people can probably just implement, lead into the strategy and just change it up a little bit, and it would still be the same best strategy. But this, it's a pretty big divide, since you have the, you can either choose to not use proc items and have really strong, just basic builds where it's just using damage. Interesting, since normally, you don't really use it and rely on proc damage. You don't really get most of your damage just second. My equation might be slightly flawed. Probably is flawed since I'm not a math professor. And I'm not really that good at math. I'm good at math, but I'm not really the type to write equations. I just use equations sometimes. 100%. So 10 out of 10. So 10 out of 10 for the fraction. The denominator would get. 10 times. The denominator would get 10 times. The denominator would get multiplied by, it would be 10 in 1,000. Actually, no. That's not how it works. It re-rolls it. So, no. 100%, if it's 100% to proc, you re-roll it to try to get it to not proc. It is 100%, yeah. Shatter Screen. Let me look up what Shatter Screen does. Or what it does whenever it stacks. It's like, it's not really that obvious, like, what it does. If it stacks. So, critical strikes bleed enemies for 240% base damage. Bleeding enemies explode on death. Oh, it's just bleeding enemies, so if they're bleeding, they explode. It doesn't have to do that. Okay. For 400% plus 400% per stack damage, plus an additional 15% of their maximum HP. So is that the damage? Damage max out. Okay. So then, if we find this and it will supposedly 100% of the time do the if it supposedly does 100% of the time it uses the does critical hit. Well, then it will always well, then this is probably a really good contender for a really strong hit. If that's what it is. Then they're doing a pretty good job on trying to make an alternate build. It doesn't cost, because bots, not only that's like your main thing, so taking it away is a little bit weird, but sometimes you take away your main thing and you get a lot stronger. Still need more. Also, stupid sticky keys. It brought me out of my thing, so I couldn't use my. Oh my god! Sticky keys. I don't want you here. Go away. Not want you here. Please leave. You can tell how this man's a bitch. Now it's stuck in his tiny gun. You can just annihilate everything. I think they changed it from half a second for the universal cooldown to a full second. So then let's look up Tri-Tip Dagger. This item stacks additively, meaning that having 7 daggers makes attacks with a proc coefficient of 1.0 always bleed enemies. Wait. If you don't know what proc coefficient is, it's basically it basically determines if the proc chance of the item is changed by your attack. So like so multi got really nerfed at one point, since multi at one point was just like the best character because like because his proc coefficient was 1 like everybody else's for his main attack, but he shot way way faster than everybody else. So he just had the same proc chance, but he shot a million times faster. So they made it 0.4, and that severely nerfed him. He's still good, but it's just worse. He just got bleed ticks 4 times per second. The duration of the bleed is affected by the proc coefficient. With a base of 3 seconds, it does 20% of your base character damage per tick. You can stack upon itself for even more damage. So 15+% chance per stack chance to bleed enemy. Oh, so if it is just straight linear, since there's different ways stuff stacks, like tougher times doesn't always give you like 10% chance of not just winning whatever. Instead you get enemy in just not taking. I think it's pretty self-explanatory why by like 2% instead of 10%, so that you can't just easily get like 90% chance of just not taking. That's stupid strong. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get a rapid suppressive fire. 4 seconds now. It's only +1 per stack, except for this first one, which is 2. Yeah, so we should actually do some Tri-Tip Dagger stuff. Because Tri-Tip Dagger is apparently it actually will get 100% chance to bleed. I'm not sure if they changed that, since I thought you could only get like a certain amount of bleed before the massive buff for being able to use it came. I thought you could only like it was still somewhat good, but it wasn't the best. It does some stuff so I think it would get to a certain point where it went up and down by 1, so like it would be like 5 and 4 or something, or like 13 and 12. I think you could like you had to get a lot of stacks just to get to like 13, but now it's like super easy to do that. So it does damage 4 times per second, so it does 960% damage per second, or of your base damage. Then the duration of the bleed is affected by the proc coefficient. That's interesting. So I guess multi wouldn't be as strong, even since multi can have it constantly active. or you can get it fully on, or all on, so like, multi isn't way stronger than everybody else with it, since his proc coefficient is 0.4, so he'd have around half the duration of the other people. Though it might not really matter if he can kill stuff. It does 20% of with a base of 3 seconds. So it lasts 3 seconds. But so I think that means that that just regular bleed with pretty much everybody's regular attacks, except for multi, of course, is 3 seconds. If something has more proc coefficient or less proc coefficient, it will vary. It does 20% of your base character damage per tick. And and can stack upon itself for even more damage. But it says it does 20% character damage of your base character damage per tick, but I thought it did 240%. Oh, no, it's not 960% of my base character damage. It ticks 4 times per second, which means that it does 80% of your base character damage per second. Then for 3 seconds at 240%. So for just a casual duration, it will do 240% of your character damage. That's not too good, but you can get like a million of them. So yeah. I thought it had something to do with the duration. Which is why I got the duration wasn't per thing anymore. It was for all of them. Like till the duration ran out. All of them ran out at once. I think that still might be the case. This is probably gonna be like my go-to goal if I ever play Nintendo, because there's go for it as a build, it will take 50% or plus 50% more damage. Lost it. Hey. Then I got the thing to work. strong. And apparently, you can also, it works with some pop items. If you can get it to 100%, you can do bleed with it. So you can use Shatter Steel. For doing the thing. No. For whenever it goes into the stage. 115. Nope. Sticky keys. Can I remove you from this earth, please? God. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun with the different characters. Been around a minute so far. This is somewhat of a long stage. And somewhat slowly over here. I probably would check and see if the mods were there and see if I could get something else. Took us about a minute or two to go for that stage, which that's really quick, since that's like stage that might take you like 4 minutes, even with somewhat good movement speed. Right, so now we just annihilate. How are they turkeys are trying to fly in. There's still some food to melt this one. Melt him on that. Can't do nothing. Cannot do any damage. Look at my HP. Not any good. It only stands still. Come here, buddy. Go away. Oh yeah. Pretty impressive. I think so good. Chill in the air. Much. The main reason I died. This is a long episode. Bye, everybody.